So if you're someone within this whole NFT ecosystem, you might be someone who is gung-ho, just very excited, collecting, such as myself, trying to figure out how to put these things into businesses. You might be wondering, well, what other ways are there to generate revenue from this tech without necessarily selling NFTs, without launching your next PFP project? And that's what we're going to discuss today on how people within the NFT ecosystem, whether it be creators, founders, or active members of a community, can actually bridge the gap between what we're doing right now for ourselves to how we can build businesses by providing services to enterprises. Hello, I'm Taj, digitally known as Tropic Vibes, the host of Nifty Business, where we highlight NFTs and explore Web 3.0 as we move from pure speculation to creating real-world value. As with most of us, when we came to this NFT space, the first thing that we were thinking is, how are we going to launch an NFT project? And over the last 18 months, 24 months or so, things have really changed. The NFT landscape has been on a different trajectory than where it was at the beginning of the bull run. And when we were looking at the different projects that we're launching, it is completely different now. And oftentimes on this show, I say that the NFT is not the product, it is the technology that's going to solve problems within businesses. So the unique position that we are within this space, we are collecting, we're understanding what's going on, but how's that going to translate over into a business unless you have your own customers, your own product offering, and so forth. So in the case of offering something like a software as a service type of business, or a solution, if you will, to a business that already exists. So for example, in this space, we have explored a lot of things. We've explored apps. We've explored different ways of collecting and playing music, monetizing for artists, building communities, different collectibles, digital identities, and so forth. So we have a lot of unique value and a lot of unique perspectives that a lot of businesses, enterprises have no idea how to do that. Now, as we can see right now, there's tons of layoffs. The economy is not in the best place. So whereas, say, 18 months ago, a lot of people were being hired to go out and research Web3, attend conferences, and either be the head of the Web3 division, the NFT division, the metaverse division, or all these different titles were given within companies. Now we're seeing that budgets are being cut, people are being laid off, and in many cases, it is the Web3 staff. So rather than these companies going out and hiring someone to run these divisions for, let's say, six figures, $100,000 or $200,000 or whatever crazy figure that they're offering to, in many cases, fairly young people that just happen to have their foot within Web3, what they can actually do is look for ways to hire or work with different people that are already creating within the space. And how we come in and we're able to take advantage of that and work with companies. So for example, if you are actively within a community or you have founded a project that is using certain software or a platform and you're token gating that, of course, your community is using their wallet to sign in, to access information, access content, whatever it might be, that might be something that is beneficial to another enterprise. And we're not talking about the Googles and the Facebooks of the world who have armies of coders and people that can figure this out. We're talking about, let's say, small to mid-sized businesses, maybe have 10, 15, 20 employees, a couple of million US dollars worth of revenue. These are substantial businesses that have a budget to expand and do some interesting things. However, it might not be within their scope to go out and start their own metaverse division. So those are the type of businesses that might benefit from certain platforms. And just giving you an example, I've been speaking to one of the projects that I'm actively involved in, and it's because I was trying to figure out a problem for myself. And I approached the team and said, you know what, this is something that could probably be beneficial to you. So the problem that I was trying to solve is, how can I possibly token gate my content very easily for listeners or whoever it might be? And I don't want it to be just the gung-ho, tech-savvy people that are already diving into the space and everything. There's lots of solutions for that. But how can I do that in an easy way and onboarding people that might not even have any NFTs yet, might not even have a crypto wallet? How can I get them to have access to token-gated information? If you listen to an episode that I spoke about sometime last month when I was traveling about MasterCard and their artist incubator within Web3, that is something that I've been thinking about since then, because that is absolutely set up to onboard people. You get your first NFT. It is a custodial wallet right there on the website. You log in, and then all of a sudden that information unlocks as soon as you get that NFT. So that really started to turn the wheels in my head, and I started to think, well, you know what? That is such an easy onboarding process. But again, that is a custodial wallet with MasterCard, and I went through all of that reason as to why something like that makes sense for them. But going back to where we stand within the space, how can we monetize our knowledge? How can we monetize the information that we currently have and our expertise within this space? Because we've been exploring this now for quite a while, and we are years ahead of the public. So as far as what we have already done and how we can put things together for ourselves, it might be something that we take for granted and say, why would anyone pay us to do that? You can think of all the cool things that are happening within the communities and the projects that you're involved in, and you might look around the landscape of NFTs and say, you know what? That is not really that unique to our project or our community. There's countless others doing that. But how many of them are packaging that and communicating that in a way that would benefit a business? So as I said, I'm trying to token gate off some information, token gate off some content, and make it a much more interactive community rather than me speaking to a microphone and just hoping for the best that someone's going to tweet at me, which I do appreciate those of you that have been tweeting. It's always fun at Tropic Vibes. Feel free to send me a DM, shoot me messages, whatever it might be. The email, contact information is always in the show notes. But what I'm talking about is actually getting people together, having a real community. And I know everyone says community, 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 but that's not just something that is limited to Web3 and our NFT projects and our PFPs. There are businesses out there that would greatly benefit from all of that. So we take it for granted because literally every project is talking about community, having token gated information. But let's just say the local gym, right? A member of that particular gym might want access to special digital training, such as like what they do for Peloton and those types of subscription-based trainings. Well, why can't a local gym do that same thing? So having that platform, having that set up in a way that those members can simply log in, get access to that information, and then go on. You might be thinking, well, why is that special? I mean, every project can do that. Yeah, pretty much. We take it for granted. But think of the gyms that are out there or the various businesses that might not even know this world exists, but if you offer them a service, package it up, and then say, hey, for $20 a month, I can show you a way to post premium information online that your members can access, and it will be a great portal. You guys can interact, and there's two-way communications going back and forth, and it's community building, and it's a great way to figure out what your customers want, how you can better serve them, and things of that nature. Those are the type of things that we can do because we take that for granted. As I said, this is something that we see every single day, but there are countless business owners out there that are just trying to figure out how they can have better contact with their customers, how they can figure out exactly what they want, how they can have some sort of community building. And community builders, if you just look on Indeed or any of those places, if you look at those medium-sized businesses that I was speaking about, really small businesses for the most part, but when I say medium-sized businesses, I say that because I don't want people to think of just the one-man operation that might be pulling, six figures on its own, but I'm talking about a company that has a staff. And in the US, even a company with a staff of 100 is still considered a small business, but most of us don't think of it that way. But if someone has the resources to have 100 staff members, they have the resources to pay, let's say, $100 a month, $200 a month for some sort of subscription as a service that incorporates all these features that we're so used to without having to hire a tech guy, a whole tech department, or whatever it is. So what I'm trying to say is, let's just say you already have a little platform, you've been tinkering around, figuring out how to token gate certain things. Let's say you're putting up some exclusive content within a Discord or whatever it might be. Well, that same knowledge could translate over into getting exclusive information up on someone's website, just having that token gated off. And of course, you're going to have to then figure out the easiest way to get people to do those things. But if you can offer those benefits that we're used to, we've come accustomed to a business for a monthly fee, and it's nominal compared to the size of their business, trust me, it is way better than them trying to go off and figure this stuff out, getting down in the trenches of Web3 because they're busy running their business, whether it is a restaurant, whether it is a gym, whether it is an accounting firm or whatever it might be. You just have to look around the landscape and try to figure out, okay, what exactly could benefit these particular businesses in my area, or not necessarily in my area, but I know this brand, this company has a web influence. They might put out YouTube content or whatever it might be, and I can get in touch with them. How can I provide my knowledge and the things that I know from Web3 within the NFT space for them? What would that look like? How much could I actually provide that for? So let's say I could provide that for $50 a month. Well, if I can then get them to pay me $200 a month for it, I know that is a nice little cushion to spread that gives me my profits, but also allows me to then try to figure out, okay, how else can I build on this? What other services can I give them? But this is not just, some sort of pie in the sky, easy thing. This is going to actually require research, it's going to require communications, and just like any other business, you're going to have to solve a real problem for them. But we have a lot of solutions that we've already been exploring. But rather than just looking at this as fun, as the degen ways, rather than just our collections and our wallets, our bags, how can this benefit the greater world? And that's how we're going to move forward with this stuff. And the thing that we are going to build in the future, again, might not be the quote unquote next Bored Apes, right? We might not be releasing PFP projects. However, the things that we could possibly offer this world, I truly believe that is just solutions to the problems that they've been having for quite a while. And they were just waiting for this technology to come along that solves it quickly and efficiently. So rather than thinking of selling NFTs, we're now starting to think of how can we provide solutions using NFTs? Completely different ballgame. Love to hear your thoughts on that. Of course, I'm working this stuff through myself, but I always want to thank you for taking time to listen to this as we're learning and building Web3 together. So until next time, later. The Nifty Business Arrow is not investment advice. It provides insights and information within the space. As with anything, please do your own research before making a decision whether you're making an investment or a purchase.